Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another First Impressions video for Civilization 6 Gathering Storm. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ottomans, which is this is their second time in the Civilization series. We first saw them in Civilization 5, also with Suleiman, and there's some similar bonuses that they have as well, but I have a feeling this might be one of my favorite civs of Gathering Storm for some reasons I'll jump into here momentarily, but let's go ahead and get into the video.
Suleiman leads the Ottomans in Civilization 6 Gathering Storm. He is commonly referred to as Suleiman the Magnificent, and personally led conquests to expand his empire while instituting societal reform. Suleiman's unique ability is Grand Vizier. This unlocks a unique governor, Ibrahim.
All right, so the Grand Vizier unlocks a unique governor, which I actually think they kind of missed out on the opportunity to introduce unique civilization governors before now. I think it would have been cool to see a few more civilizations have these unique governors. The governor system was introduced in Rise and Fall, and I think it was a great system. It adds a lot of kind of variety and more kind of tweaking that you can do to your civilizations, your various cities. And so I like it a lot. As far as, this ability, we get a unique one here. Again, I wish more civilizations had this, but it's cool to see that they're finally introducing it. But let's jump into some of his abilities here. Grand Vizier says he's a military diplomacy focused governor, which that might kind of lead you to kind of understand maybe a little bit about what the Ottomans are going to be about in this game. So his first promotion is plus 20% production to all military units in the city. That's not a small thing. 20% increased production is pretty nice, pretty big deal. So you're going to get that for all military units. Awesome. That's good. That's pretty easy. And that's just his baseline. Well, that's before you even give him any promotions at all. Head Falconer. All friendly units fighting within the city's territory gain plus 5 combat strength. That's kind of similar to one of Victor's bonuses where you get increased combat strength if you're fighting near your city, but I think this one comes a little bit sooner. So that's pretty cool. That goes down to the, actually let's go across to the Sarasker. Grants all units within 10 tiles of the city center plus 10 combat strength when attacking defensible districts. Interesting. Within 10 tiles, so that's a pretty big distance. So what you're going to do is you're going to be moving this guy up to your forward conquered cities, or maybe just right on the border, so that this bonus can kind of stretch outside of that. 10 tiles is a pretty big distance, and be able to take that next city, and you kind of leapfrog him along the way to take each subsequent city. He also only takes 3 turns to establish, just like Victor. All the other governors take 5 turns, so that 3 turns is very critical, because if it was 5 turns, trying to hold off for 5 turns till you get that next city 10 tiles away would be a bit much. 3 turns is still going to be a little bit of a stretch, but definitely a lot more reasonable. Then we have Kas Oda Bashi down here on the bottom left. When established in an allied foreign capital, alliance leveling rate is increased with the owner. So that is another thing that this governor has that you're going to hear about here in a moment, is he's able to be put into other civilization cities. Whereas Amani is the only other governor that can be put somewhere outside of your cities. She can be put into city-states. This governor can be put into your cities as well as other civilization cities, which is kind of cool. And of course, increasing your alliance, rates is, it's useful, definitely. Capo Aga. When established in a foreign capital, grievances from that city owner against you are reduced by 1 more per turn. So if you did something, kind of naughty against somebody else, took some of their cities or something like that, or broke a promise or whatever, the grievances are going to come from, you can then put this guy in there to kind of ease some of those tensions a little bit. So that's kind of a cool deal. And then his final one, which is also his namesake, the Grand Vizier. When established in a foreign capital, none of the owner's cities exert loyalty pressure on your city. Oh, wow. None of the owner's cities exert loyalty pressure on your cities. Here's where this one becomes in, and it's pretty cool. It's the same basic bonus, unless they've changed it, same basic bonus as the cultural alliance, where if you have a cultural alliance, neither civilization exerts loyalty pressure on the other. The good benefit of this guy, though, is that you can put it in somebody else's civilization, and you won't get loyalty pressure from them, but they'll still get loyalty pressure from you. So that's where the cultural one has a little bit of a negative, because it'd be nice to kind of exert your loyalty pressure on somebody else. So it's pretty a cool deal. I mean, I know it says he's military and diplomacy focused. The top end is definitely military, and then the bottom end gets a little bit more kind of diplomatic type stuff, with a little bit less, conquest focus, more, keeping people happy, keeping those grievances low, things like that. So very, very cool governor. I think this is going to be Really, really good to have. And again, I wish there was more civilizations that had governors, but this is a good start.
With his own unique promotion tree. He's the only governor that can be established in another civilization and can be a major player in diplomacy. It also unlocks the Janissary, Suleiman's unique unit.
So Suleiman gets his own unique unit, and then there's a unique unit for the civilization. We've obviously seen this multiple times with other civilizations as well. And the Janissary here obviously being the unit, which we have also seen that in Civilization 5. I've actually been playing a lot through the Assassin's Creed series. I've been trying to get through that one again, and I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed Revelations. And if you're familiar with that series at all, it's actually a lot about Suleiman, the Ottoman Empire, and Janissary. So I've actually kind of been seeing a lot of these, playing that game offline, which is kind of cool. But so the Janissaries, again, 2 unique units for the civilization, one based on the leader and one based on the civilization.
This musketman replacement is stronger and cheaper to build, and starts with a free promotion, but it consumes a population in the city in which it is trained.
Oh, wow. So it's stronger than musketmen. It replaces musketmen, so it comes around that time period. But taking a population to trade, that is a big negative. And that is going to be, you're going to have to be very careful where you train this and when you train this and how many you train, because that is no small deal.
Unless it is trained in a conquered city.
Okay, I should have kept going before I paused. Unless it is trained in a conquered city. So in your own cities, you're not going to be trying to produce a whole lot of Janissaries. In fact, more than likely, you're going to want to have at least one conquered city by the time Janissaries come into the game, so that you can just avoid that negative altogether in your own cities, and then put them into, whatever that new conquered city and any future conquered cities after that. So that's a very unique way of doing things. Say, hey, if you build it in your own city, you're going to have a penalty. If you build it somewhere else, not so much. So a lot of times your own city is going to be, better producing and things like that. So you might have a little bit of a production hit by going into a conquered city and trying to produce it there, unless it's a really, really strong city. Depends on kind of the strength of that city. But of course, when you capture cities, a lot of times they lose a lot of those benefits and things like that, or you have to repair the city districts, like the industrial zones, stuff like that. So we'll have to see how that plays into things. I think it'll be fine, though. I think you'll just kind of keep taking cities, training units, and keep leapfrogging your way through there, bringing your governor along with you as well.
The Ottomans' unique building is the Grand Bazaar. It replaces the bank in the commercial hub and adds extra amenities and strategic resources that are available in that city.
All right, so we have the bazaar here, the Grand Bazaar, and it gives you more amenities. Always good to have more amenities, especially if you're going to be a kind of a domination, conquest focused civilization, and gives you more strategic resources, which again goes back to that conquest, domination, focused civilization, because a lot of those words are hard. Strategic resources are very important for getting your machine rolling and things like that. So you're going to have this in a lot of your at-home cities and kind of keep those built up. That way you can get, obviously since it's a marketplace building, you are going to innately get some bonus as far as gold as well. In another civilization that doesn't have a building like that, they might not even bother building the market right away. You're going to be able to probably build the market a little bit sooner in this civilization because you want to get this building specifically. And as a net result of that, you're also going to get some more gold for your military.
Their unique unit is the Barbary Corsair. This naval raider replaces the privateer, but can be built earlier. Also, coastal raids have no movement cost for this unit.
All right, so we have the Barbary Corsair. Now, this was actually it was not an actual unit in Civilization 5. This was just an effect that you had. And the effect in Civilization 5 was if you attacked somebody else's units, you could steal those units for yourself. And I think there was also a raiding component as well. Well, in this case, it's going to come sooner than the privateer, which is good. I think the privateer comes, fairly late. I think getting it a bit sooner would be useful. And then not having any movement cost for pillaging is really cool. You're going to be able to jump in there, get in, maybe within range of a city, pillage a tile, and then get away again, which is very useful. Or, obviously keep your advance going. But I think the ability to kind of do these hit and run tactics and stuff like that is going to give a lot more value to pillaging. Plus, in the last live stream, they announced that pillaging is going to get a huge kind of bonus boost, actually. As you advance through the eras, the amount that you get from pillaging is going to increase as well. And so that's going to make it more worthwhile throughout the entirety of the game. So this unit's going to come in just the right time for them to have that bonus on the pillaging as well. And I think you're going to get a lot of you're going to want to be doing a lot of pillaging, a lot of things like that to kind of get that extra gold, get that extra science, faith, whatever it is you need. Plus, keep your other civilizations in check. As you're pillaging stuff, they're going to be a little bit weaker in return.
The Ottomans' unique ability is Great Turkish Bombard.
All right, so here's Suleiman himself. We'll go ahead and go through all the bonuses here and see if there's any that we missed or any details that we missed. Grand Vizier, obviously, exclusive unique governor with military and diplomatic abilities, and gain the Janissary unique unit when the gunpowder technology is researched. Perfect. I'm going to skip Great Turkish Bombard. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Janissary itself is an Ottoman unique Renaissance era unit that replaces the musketman. It starts with a free promotion. I didn't talk about that, but don't underestimate, the power of getting a free promotion right off the bat. That's really cool. Stronger and cheaper than musketmen. And then to train a Janissary, a city must have a population of at least 2. And because, again, it will lose a population unless you've already conquered that city itself. It's not one of your homegrown cities. We've got the Barbary Corsair. No movement cost to coastal raid. All the normals of a this type of unit where it can't be seen unless you're adjacent to it. And then the Grand Bazaar down here accumulates 1 extra strategic resource for every different type of strategic resource the city has improved. Okay, cool. Receive 1 amenity for every luxury resource that the city has improved. Okay, they didn't say that specifically, I don't think. So it's not just going to be 1 or 2 amenities. It's however many luxury resources you have, the city's going to get more from that. So that's actually a really cool deal. You're going to be able to get a lot of amenities from that. And then she's about to talk about the Great Turkish Bombard, which is, I think this kind of jumps into, along with some of these other bonuses, but this really kind of gets into the reason why this is probably my type of civilization, because I love bombarding. I know there's other ways to attack a city. Just go straight on melee, and go that kind of route. Take down the walls with all your melee units and just swarm it. I prefer to take the route of let's sit back, stay safe, use your bombard type units or your artillery and things like that to attack the city from distance, get it down to 0, swoop in a cavalry or other fast moving infantry, and just take the city real quick with basically no loss. And so that's my preferred way of playing, and this guy fits obviously really well into that strategy. Plus 50% production towards siege units. So that's 50% production towards siege units plus the 20% that the governor himself was going to get if you use him in that city. So pretty big jump in siege unit production. All siege units gain plus 5 combat strength against district defenses. Great. That's awesome. Usually you don't get a pretty good combat bonus against districts until you get into that 2nd and 3rd promotions with the siege type units. You're going to get this, at least some bonus right away, which is really helpful. Conquered cities do not lose population. That is a pretty big deal, honestly. Being able to jump right into a city and have it stay at the population that you were at, that population loss is pretty significant a lot of times when you attack some of these cities. So this is a pretty big deal. And cities not founded by the Ottomans gain plus 1 amenity and plus 4 loyalty per turn. So that's, if you go to conquer another person's city, you're going to get more amenities and more loyalty in that city, which is going to help you keep that war machine going further. A lot of times the thing that hits you most with the war machine is sometimes first the amenities, which if you have negative amenities also dings your loyalty. But the loyalty, obviously, as well, is a big deal. So those go very much hand in hand. And if you're able to get a little bit more from those conquered cities, you're going to be able to push your war machine even further before you have issues with loyalty or amenities. So both of those great bonuses that I wish I had right now in some of my games that I'm playing with my Russia game. But I think this is really good to see in this civilization. Obviously, this guy's very much domination. I think he's the first true, strong domination civilization we've seen of Gathering Storm. There's been a couple others that could flirt with domination. This guy, very much on the domination side of things.
They can construct siege units much faster, and all siege units receive additional combat strength. Conquered cities do not lose population and benefit from amenity and loyalty bonuses while under Ottoman control. As the Ottomans, the medieval and Renaissance eras will be your prime time for conquest. Use your powerful siege units to topple foreign cities, and Ibrahim's abilities as governor to secure them. Those cities then serve as ideal places to build more Janissaries, and you can maintain this overwhelming force by building your Grand Bazaar in a number of cities. Will you turn the eyes of the world to your victories? How will you lead the Ottomans in Sid Meier's Civilization VI Gathering Storm?
All right, so like I said, Ottomans really play into my playstyle quite a bit. They still continue that whole theme of that we're seeing a lot in Gathering Storm of let's give you a really cool bonus and also give you kind of an interesting negative that you have to overcome. Although I think in their case, the negative is pretty easy to overcome. The whole idea of, your Janissaries take population, well, just build them in the new cities that you conquer, because you're going to be doing a lot of conquering with the Ottomans. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play with. Again, the siege units are going to be very, very strong, very powerful. The pillaging from the sea. And then you got your infantry. I mean, that's your trifecta right there. Attacking from the sea with your Barbary Corsairs, and go with the Janissaries are going to be your attacking units, and then of course your bombard units are going to be your siege units to get the walls down. So I think it's perfect. You can be able to take just about any city on the map with that kind of combo of things. And I think Ottomans are going to be very, very strong in domination. The thing with domination civilizations is all domination civilizations in some way are actually pretty good at all the other conquest or all the other victory types as well. And the reason for that is that, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not very good at building wonders, or maybe not very good at culture. Well, let me go take all your cities, get all your wonders, get all your great works, or whatever it is that you have that's better than me, and I'll take it for myself, and then I can then use that to get, a certain victory time and things like that. So I think, obviously, domination is going to be their primary. I don't know if there's going to be any real ways. I know it talks about being there's some diplomacy benefits, but I don't know if diplomatic victory really plays too strongly into their stuff. Maybe it's in there somewhere. I mean, as you conquer cities, you're going to be able to get more resources to be able to trade away for more favor, diplomatic favor to be able to use for a diplomatic victory. So in a way, I guess you can. Obviously, science victory is still kind of in the works, because just go take out some of those cities around you that have good production, good science rates, stuff like that. Culture, again, like I said, you can go steal somebody's great works by taking their city. Religion, maybe less so, honestly. I'm not saying it's impossible. Obviously, you'd have to have a religion yourself, but I think if you're playing the religion game as Ottoman, you're really not having the fun the way that the Ottomans are going to have fun with. You don't really need to take cities as a religion game. Not you can't, but I feel like it wastes some of their benefits if you try to go with the religion game. But I think the other victory types are definitely plausible, with domination by far being his top victory type, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So I do appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know let me know what you think in the comments below, and will you play Ottomans? What do you think about them? Do you think they're strong, too weak? What do you think? Like I said, I like them a lot, but everybody has a different opinion. So let me know what you think. Give me a like if you like this, and please subscribe so I know that you are enjoying these, and I can keep making some more of these as we go forward. We're coming to the end. It's getting close. But I will definitely be playing a lot of these civilizations once the Gathering Storm comes out on February 14th. Thank you again, and goodbye.